Ugh.
Take it
Am
away,
I
Marley,
going?
when you're ready. Yeah, man.
G'day, guys. Welcome back. You got myself, Marley Grubby. You got Thomas Freeman and Andy from All Access Off-Road. How you guys going?
I am pretty bloody good.
I'm good, mate. How are you, Tom?
Very, very good this first winter's day we're having in Victoria. I see, Andy, you're huddled by the fireplace.
How good is it, mate? Oh, I reckon we're in for a bumper winter. It's going to be ripper.
I reckon we could probably have snow up on the peaks, as in this evening, I reckon. It probably could be the first day of winter.
Well, mate, it's chilly out there.
I love how you guys have winter right now, and I'm sweating bullets up here in Queensland because I'm up and down if I want to put the air conditioning on.
Yeah, what's the temperature up there?
I was listening to the radio on the way home, and it was still 31 degrees at 5 p.m. at night.
Ooh, Jesus, we'd kill for temperatures like that down here. That's not going to happen. It's
That's
done.
a cool afternoon.
I reckon we're going to have a really, really cold Easter, and it's going to be really, really wet, and there's nothing that's going to change that.
Oh, any weather's good camping and full driving weather, mate. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we're just basically following up. Now, we had a double part episode of Q&A back to back, so we really haven't chatted to each other in a while. We'll start, Marley. What have you been up to?
Just been doing all my TikTok stuff, getting ready for YouTube, which will hopefully be very soon. Trying to get some podcast stuff sorted for a separate podcast I'm going to be doing with another mate. And I'll hopefully be able to use it with you guys for a bit better audio quality from my end. And doing silly car stuff, but we'll get to that a bit later.
Ooh, spoilers. Yeah, a little bit of a teaser for the audience as well, too. Ominous. Andy, what about yourself, mate?
Not good.
Andy, mate?
Nothing exciting, mate. Getting for the 24-hour race. That's in 2 weeks. Oh, I lost you.
Pretty excited. There we go. No, you're jumping in and out. It's just the headphones. Yeah, so that 24-hour race. Whereabout is that happening?
That's in Bagshot, just out of Bendigo.
And what are you going to be doing there? Are you going to be co-pilot or racing, and whose team are you going to be running with?
I have scored a seat with the infamous Leaf Spring Racing. He's the one and only man I'm sponsored by KFC. And
yes, KFC.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I reckon it's going to be a ripper weekend, mate.
Yeah, right. So you're going with the Zinger Burger champion himself, Leaf Spring Racing. I've been following that guy on TikTok. He puts out some pretty quality stuff.
Yeah, in the 60, mate. So, yeah, I met him at the Ultimate 4x4 Challenge, and we just, he's coming down. I think he's from top of New South Wales somewhere. He's coming down, said his usual navvy couldn't make it, and I would be honoured enough to jump in, and I jumped at the chance, mate.
Absolutely. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be real awesome to see that one. That's going to be real cool. Yeah. All right, we're going to jump into it. You're cutting out there.
What do you got going on,
mate? I am basically just starting to wind down everything, all my trips, all my builds, with the babe on the way, and a lot of the shed build going on. That's where really a lot of my focus is going to be. So I'm going to be starting to do a bit of shell building and shed life soon. So that's some exciting stuff happening on the Hilux side. I'm going to probably try and turn that from farm truck to spec'd out dual cab ute. that's my plan on that one. That's going to be the next few weeks and months on that.
Tough touring rig.
That's the go, mate. And we can have the
Yep.
Prado versus Hilux.
Oh, mate, I'm ready to go now. Let's go.
Ooh, the challenge has been issued.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been trying to plan it for a while.
We've
So
just got to say it's time and a place.
yeah, we just got to tee that up. I just want to run through a few more things as well too before we do. Marley, you went to the 4-wheel drive show in Brisbane.
Yes,
what was that
the
like?
Brisbane 4x4 Expo. That was awesome. It's the first time I've been since I was a young boy. Haven't been able to go for a few years. Just never really knew when it was on and stuff like that. But then, me and my mates saw it on a Facebook post, and we're like, we have to go to this, especially with my TikTok and trying to social media network with a bunch of new people, just try and get my name and stuff out there. And it was just an awesome experience seeing a bunch of awesome new cars. So many American sort of builds coming up now. People are really into the Silverados, Rams, big American tough trucks. I'm not a big fan personally, but I can see why there's a market for them, especially here in Australia. They're like you would put massive canopy and stuff on them, and people would just take them around Australia like they're as if they were in a minivan, something like that. Excuse me, or awesome for towing trailers, stuff like that. And they seem like a pretty capable car for touring. I'm not sure how they would go off road. Maybe that could be a video that I might have to watch later on. But yeah, a lot of really cool cars, a lot of really cool creators. I met with some of the boys from Snatch. I was chatting to them for a bit. Did an interview with Graham. Chatted to him about how he got into full driving and where it's taken him, stuff like that. Had a chat to Ruben from BMW. That was really cool. My mate actually he was like, have you ever had someone ask to sign their boobs? And he was like, nah, why is that? He's like, can you sign my boobs? Oh my God. But then, met up with a few other creators like Macca, the boys from No Wasted Weekends, Sam Oles from Building on Board, the girls from Red Dirt Diaries. I'm actually wearing a Shed Life shirt now. This is my new favorite shirt, by the way. I love the cool design on the back. And I also did another interview with Sam Young. But all that will be coming out in a future YouTube video, so you guys better go follow my TikTok, and then I'll be posting them.
I am super
Happy days,
super
mate.
duper excited.
Yeah, there was some awesome builds, awesome conversations going on between me and some of the other content creators, maybe some collabs coming later on. Too bad that everyone lives either up 2 hours past my house or all the way down to Melbourne and Sydney. So, but hopefully one day we'll be able to tee up something with a bunch of the other creators, and maybe even me, Tom, and Andy might be able to meet up hopefully this year, fingers crossed.
Ooh, you're teasing us now. Do you think you might be coming back down?
I don't think I'll be able to drive, especially not with what we'll talk about later with what happens to Ruby. But maybe, fingers crossed, I'll be able to fly down with my filmer and editor, who is probably watching this right now. Hello, Lindsay. And yeah, hopefully tee up something with you guys.
Absolutely, mate. And I can guarantee you there is the cruiser key waiting for you. You can definitely take that and head off High Country Way. Absolutely.
At least I'll be cruising around in style. No trash patrols for me, thanks. Nah, I love patrols. You guys know that.
When the cruiser breaks down, mate, I've got a patrol you can borrow. So we'll definitely get you some wheels.
I'm just getting keys thrown at me left, right, and center. I just want to drive everything. I'm just so keen to get down there and meet a bunch of new people.
Absolutely, man. And it's going to be a good time to come down here.
What was that? Sorry, Andy?
When you're a good bloke, amazing things happen, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Just have good vibes, good energy, and good things come your way. And I guess that's just what's happened with all this social media stuff. And I'm just so grateful for where it's taken me and hopefully where it takes me in the future.
And speaking of
That's
the
it, mate.
immediate
Go on.
future, Marley, I think we need to jump in. Like, we're talking about good vibes. Unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about bad vibes. Do you want to jump into it?
Yeah, so a few weekends ago, me and a bunch of our mates from high school all went out for a mate's 21st out at a place called Lavuka. Awesome place. It's about an hour's drive down from New South Wales. Such a nice, it's like a farm place with tough full driving, beautiful campsites, all that sort of good stuff. It's got dog friendly. It's got toilets there. It's got powered and unpowered sites, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, just an awesome place to go, except for when you're a stupid idiot like I am and get peer pressured by all your mates. Cheers, Riley. Into doing a stupid track on your first track in, that people with 300 horsepower 1HD FTEs couldn't even get up. So you to try to do it in your 3-inch lift 33 1HZ NA, thinking that you got it because you're super awesome, super good, but apparently it was. So the story goes, it's a gully, it's in the playpen, it's like a big gully, and then it was raining all weekend, and in the middle there's a pile of really sloshy mud. It's probably just about hub deep, but it's just really sloshy and it's real slippery and just can't get traction on it. And you're trying to do this very steep incline climb on the other side of this valley. So me being an idiot, full sent it from almost halfway down the other side to try and launch it up the other side, thinking I'd be good. But this track went from being straight to having a slight left turn to going straight again, which, me not realizing, it has grabbed my steering wheel out of my hand, almost broke my hand, and it sent me straight into a bank at about 45 to 50 k's an hour. Granted, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have been driving that fast to try and get up this thing, but I was just, all I could see was me climbing up this thing at full noise, and I have completely stuffed the front end of Ruby. I'm not sure whether I've done something inside the diff, whether I've bent the diff, whether I've bent steering arms, whether I've done something to my steering box, whether I've even possibly bent the chassis or something horrible like that. But now the car is crab walking on a very bad angle, and it was very scary to drive it that first week back. So I've had to go and buy a second car just to be able to try and save some money to figure out what's going wrong with Ruby.
Oh, you had to buy
Whoa.
the daily. What did you get for the daily?
Oh no. I got a D21 Nugget Navara.
Hey, don't bag the D21, mate. I have a D21 single cab, but it is a
Yep.
4x4. And it is the QD 32. So it was I think they call it the predecessor to the ZD. So it was the motor in between a TD and a ZD.
Yeah.
It's absolutely bulletproof, mate.
I've got the little 2.4 petrol 4-cylinder. It's definitely a to and from work kind of vehicle. Yep, to and from work kind of vehicle.
Big, mate. Now you can pour some tender love and care into Ruby, and she will be bigger and better.
Fingers crossed, but I'm in between that sort of period where I keep it off the road for a few months, just fix what's wrong with it, and then drive it, or I can go all out and do the new wheels, new tires, all inside, repaint it, bar work, stuff like that, and then it's off the road for a year, possibly even a year and a half. So weighing it all up and down, maybe if I do that, buy a second 4-wheel drive so I can still go doing stuff in that and have no wasted weekends, but still be building the dream rig 4-wheel drive that I've always wanted. So a lot of options going up and down.
I do remember I sent you a video of one I was working on at work, because every good cruiser has some patrol parts on it. A patrol steering box is a solid upgrade for the 80.
Yep. I'm
I reckon
looking
that's
for one of
probably
those.
what your issue is going to be when you said, hitting that bank. Sends the shock back through the box, the arms, Yeah, the whole lot of something's bent, something's not happy under there, mate. But don't worry, you'll get it sorted. You'll be back on
Yep,
the
I'm
road in no
pretty
time.
sure my dad reckons that I might have spun the spindles on my actual steering box knuckle or something like that. So if that is the case,
Yep.
I'm definitely going to be upgrading to a patrol one.
It twists the splines. Yeah, it twists the splines, and it does it with patrol ones as well. You smack the wheel hard enough, it twists the splines on the steering box, and then the steering box just gets all jammed up and makes it horrible to try and drive home. Then.
Yep, that's what it was. And then also the tire that I had, me being stupid, didn't have a spare tire. So I was asking mates, hey, can I borrow your spare tire? No. Oh, okay. And then patched up the tire that I had, went to go drive out of Lavuka, got about 20 meters down the road, then you hear and it's just flat on the side of the road on this blind corner, all the trucks coming around me. So then luckily a mate came past and helped me out, gave me his spare tire after a while. But that spare tire wasn't much better than mine because the whole rim was all bent and it was just leaking air really fast. So I'd get 7 minutes down the road and I'd have to spend 20 minutes pumping up that tire again, keep doing that and that. And that's how I got home. So a 2-hour trip back home turned into an almost 7 and a bit hour trip.
Yeah, nice. You need to find some better friends. They don't want to give you a spare to get you home.
No,
That's not
eventually
cool, man.
they did, but they were just worried because a lot of them were getting punches as well, so they didn't want to not have a spare tire for themselves as well.
Last man standing, never leave a man behind. Just
Oh,
throw the spare on.
We run a very simple rule: is what's mine is yours. But if I need it, you have to give it back. So I'll give you my spare tire, and then if I get a flat, well, sorry, man, I've just got a flat. I need that spare back, and that is
Exactly.
that's the rule we run. Everything we'll do it with alternators, we'll do it with batteries, we do it with winch motors, you name it. If I've got it and you need it to get out, here it is. And most of the time, we don't want money for it. All I want is either that one back or you replace that one so I can have a spare back in my toolbox.
Yep, that's what it's all about.
And yeah,
helping
it's
out,
a
mates.
system me and all my friends use. Some people take the piss, and they come out with no spares and they're just like, oh, someone else will have it. We've cottoned on to them and they get told, no, man, you either come prepared or don't come at all. And now it is because you can't carry everything. You simply can't carry everything. So yeah, if I've got it, you need it. I think the saying is "mi casa, su casa." My house is your house, and we run that. And so long as you respect it, you return it or replace it. Happy days, man. And we've got a good crew of dudes that we go out and wreck shit with, and it's really enjoyable because you don't have to worry about being stranded and getting left behind.
Definitely.
That's literally working smarter, not harder. Yeah.
The stupidest thing was I had a spare tire, but I took it out to do to fix my upper control arm because the nut on the adjustable control arm went loose, and I just forgot. I just didn't put it back in, so it was my fault that I didn't have a spare. I've got one sitting here at home, but yeah. So that's what happened to Ruby.
Things happen, mate.
Yeah.
Part of the fun. Yeah, it's part of the fun, but that's all
part of the fun.
You should be able to get it tidied up pretty quick, mate.
And that's moving on, Andy, as well too. So you've got the gear that you bring, the proper gear, the stuff that you should bring, and then there's the opposite, all the gear, no idea stuff. Like that was the next thing we wanted to jump on as well too. So let's start. You had one that had to be said.
All the gear and no idea, I think, more comes down to a bloke that hasn't been out driving before, or maybe he went out as a passenger with his mates once or twice, and he went, yeah, I like this, I want to do it. And he goes out and he spends a fuckload of coin on a super, super set up rig. So I'm talking, he's got big wheels, he's got a big winch, he's probably got front rear lockers, he's got solar panels and batteries and shit up to wazoo that he doesn't even know how they work. And if you don't know how it works, you can get yourself in so much trouble. in a rig like that, especially lockers. If you
Yep.
don't know how to drive without lockers, buying a car with lockers is going to make you a really, really horrible, really shit driver, because lockers are what's known as a magic button. They get you out of trouble. And you just flick your lockers on and you think you can drive everything. But the day is going to come where you tear a locker line out, or something shit, you break a hub and you lose front wheel drive, or something goes on, and now you've got to go back to basics and you've got to try and drive properly. You're not going to have a clue how to pick lines, how to keep your wheels in the right spot, how to avoid getting that dead wheel stuck under an undercut log or behind a rock or something like that. So yeah, having all the gear and no clue on how to use it is possibly the worst first step you could take. What you need to do is go buy a stock standard car. You go out and you drive it, you break it, you fix it, you upgrade it, and you continue through that trend. And as you upgrade, you're going to become a better and better driver. If you get it all from the get-go, you're never going to get the experience you need when push comes to shove and you actually have to use it.
100%, Andy. That's a big thing that a lot of people should learn. Go out and drive your car, figure out what you need, and then upgrade it accordingly. You might think, I need 37s, lockers, 6-inch lift, but you go take that out full driving, it's fucking stupid.
You get in a lot of trouble with a rig like that if you don't know how to use it. They're the ones that end up on the road.
Yeah, that's why I'm slow to put lockers in the Cruiser. I mean, there's still the LSD, as best as a Land Cruiser LSD is going to be, in the back, and open front with the 35s. I mean, there's a lot of places I can't go. There's a lot of places that I should be able to go. So I've got the winch on the front. I can barrel into any bog hole, any hill.
Well, there you go.
Winch out.
Yep. The winch is the backup for when you can't drive any further. Well, then I'll just have to winch it up this little nasty bit, and then I can drive again.
And that's it. And it's a controlled way of getting out of trouble as well, too.
The winch is for when you run out of talent.
Definitely. I'm running out of talent a lot of times, mate.
You drove in somewhere on a drive. Yeah, I use my winch a lot. You drive into somewhere and it's dry. It's beautiful. You drive down in this nice little creek, you camp for a couple of days, and it buckets rain the night before you're about to leave. And now all of a sudden, what was a 15-minute climb to get back to the road now turns into 3 or 4 hours of winch after winch after winch. And then that's when all the gear and no idea, I got this big whiz-bang winch, but I wouldn't know how to use it.
Double line pull as much as you can is usually the answer.
Yeah, with a low mount or something like that, man, and slow and steady, man. It's no rush, dude. Every meter you make is a meter closer you are to getting out. And
sometimes that's all you need.
Goes wrong.
Yeah, and that's sometimes all that you need is that 1 meter of travel to go, and then you're free. Keep going.
Get yourself over the next WhatsApp or something, and then you can get moving. Yeah. Get yourself a bit of momentum, and away you go. And then that again comes down to learning how to drive with a not so capable car. Momentum is the key, but there's a difference between momentum and full send, as Marley explained with his bog hole in Ruby. He full sent it from one end to the other, and look at where it got him.
Yeah.
Whereas a nice bit of momentum, plow your way into the soup, and when it gets out of control, you either come to a stop or steer to correct, something like that. But I'm seeing a lot of these young blokes with the full send mentality, and they got cars that are decked up to wazoo. That it's taken me 10, 15. Well, I've been doing this. I'm coming up on 20 years, 18 years. It has taken me to get a car to that stage, and I've broken so much shit. It's not funny.
Sorry, boys, I'll be back in 2 secs. I got the missus going off. Sorry.
That's all good, mate. The next one was there was items that we both thought there were signalling that gentleman or lass probably had a little bit too much gear and not enough idea.
Oh, Max Tracks. But see, look, Max Tracks, if you've got nothing, if you don't have a winch and you don't have, I can see people's reason behind Max Tracks. But to me, like every day commuting back and forth, I'm driving to the city every day at the moment, and I'll pass 4 or 5, possibly 15 cars that have Max Tracks permanently mounted to their roof. I've seen a couple of dual cab utes that have drilled the pins in the side of the tub. Like they've got these things on display. They are proud to show that they've got a set of Max Tracks. And to me, that is just a red flag that you're not quite sure what you're doing.
Yeah, road is a fair distance from Melbourne, which is the closest beach we can actually drive on, which is what they're supposed to be used for. I could totally get for people from obviously Queensland, there's a fair bit of WA, South Australia, and obviously New South Wales as well too, that have the Max Tracks. They're purposed for that sand recovery where there's nothing to winch to. And I don't think we need them that much here in the high country in Victoria.
Yeah, I've
Just don't
look. I've tried to use them in a few. I've tried to use them in a few different scenarios. To use them as like bridges, get up rock steps, maybe even a fallen tree. You know, lay one against a tree and another one, and use them as ramps. And I've snapped them. I've spat them back out from underneath the car. I have never found them to be beneficial in any way. And I've even properly buried in sand and went, oh, there's a set of Max Tracks in the trailer. We'll get them out, and they didn't work. We just had to get another car to park up, use that as an anchor, and winch off the other car.
Yep. Going back to that same style of doing a controlled winch recovery.
In the Max, yes, well, in the Max Tracks' defence, I was stuck, and that was when I should have used them. I continued to get more and more stuck before I decided, well, I might do something about my stuck situation now. So if you use them at the first sign of losing traction in the sand, they are beneficial. They'll get you going enough to then get a bit of momentum to then get going. But the issue is you've got to come back and pick them up. Hopefully you've got someone out of the car or another car following that can grab them for you. Yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, if you've got Max Tracks permanently mounted to the roof of your car to go all driving once a month, say, yeah, you're on the newbie side of thing, which I love newbies. I love going full driving with people that aren't sure about what they're doing, and I've got all the time in the world for them. I'll like, let's just go nice and slow. We'll go take some nice easy tracks, cruise down here, and I'll get out of the car. I'll spot them. I'll you know, if I think something's a bit hairy, I'll ask their opinion. Like, hey, what do you think? Do you want to go down here, or would you rather turn around? We'll go back, and there's another way we can take. I hate people rocking up with shit that is done up to the tits, and they just make a muppet of themselves, and you spend more time getting them out of trouble because they're off the track over here. They've tried what's the opposite to a chicken track? You know how the main road goes this way? The chicken track is an old, way that's routed. The bonus line, yep, they hit the bonus line every time. And you're like, this muppet's stuck again. Is someone going to snatch him out? Are we just going to leave him there this time? This is the third time he's done it. Do we, who invited this clown in the first place? No, I've got all the time in the world for people that are beginning and learning and want to learn. And it's only at a certain point, once you're comfortable, you're on your own, man. You go and do whatever you want, drive wherever you want, drive however you want, and that's how you're going to learn. But there's that step in between getting your first car and getting that experience And I think a lot of people at the moment are really trying to skip that first step. They're jumping straight into completely decked out rigs and get themselves in trouble.
I got a story about that, Andy. I remember I went to Rainbow Beach.
Story time. I love story.
Would have been last Australia Day or Invasion Day, whichever one you want to call it. And there was a massive lineup, as you know, there would be along the beach. Massive lineup along this beach, and everyone's letting down their tires, blah blah blah. And then this one family comes flying down just passing everyone's apparently going too slow. We saw him go past. We thought, oh, he must know what he's doing. Get onto the beach, and right at the access point, he's bogged. And we're all looking at him like, really? What was it? It was a Ford Ranger, massive tires, massive lift. Well, as you said, max tracks on the roof, brand new winch. It just looked brand new, fresh off the showroom floor. Just all brand new ARB parts and stuff. And this dude and his wife are having a go at each other, saying, "Oh, can you just ask someone to help?" He's being a typical male and not wanting to ask for any help. I've gone over and asked him, "Hey, mate, have you let your tires down?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Have you let your tires down?" He's like, "What do you mean?" "You're supposed to let your tires down, mate." "Oh, I had no idea." So I've let the tires down for him and given him a snatch out. And he's like, "Oh, thank you." And then he's just once again hit the beach and he's going 140. Just stupid people.
Yep.
No respect for the beach.
Yep.
And I drove past him up the top again, and I wanted to give him a good hard talking to, because it's like Australia Day. This kid's playing on the beach, and he's being a fucking idiot. 140 up and down the beach, thinking he's the hero.
Of something very similar. I love a good story time. So, people that don't put their car in four-wheel drive, once I'm off the bitumen, I will put my car into high four on a dirt road, because you hit corrugations and the car wants to skip sideways. The front wheel's pulling helps you correct it and gives you more control over the car. And then once we hit the gnarly stuff, I bang it into the low four, and away we go. I crawl along. And we were doing one. It was a little bit muddy, and we're doing one track. We're only 5 minutes into it, 10 minutes into it, and this bloke gets on the radio and goes, "I'll have to stop for a bit. My car's overheating." I'm like, "Oh, that's a bit shit. Like, why is it overheating?" And he sort of giggled and laughed. He's like, "Oh, I drove all that bit in two-wheel drive." And I looked at him like, "What do you mean? Like, that was pretty steep. Like, would have been." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I was on it. I was up it." I'm like, "Well, now you've fucked the day. You've not wrecked the day, but, all of us have got to stand around here and wait for your car to cool down so we can get some more water in it. Not only you're ripping up the tracks like a knobhead, like it's steep stuff. We're out four-wheel driving. We're not." Yeah, man.
We're going to pause and we're going to come back because we're going to reset the old Zoomie.
Yo.
Marley, do you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, sweet as. So Marley Grubby signing out. If you want to follow me, I'm on TikTok at Marley Grubby, Instagram at Marley Grubby, YouTube. I've got it up and running. I haven't posted any videos yet. If you guys want to be some of the first subscribers, it's Marley Grubby as well. And yeah, fingers crossed I hit my 50K subscriber on TikTok, and then I'll be posting hopefully weekly or fortnightly videos on YouTube for you guys, doing rig rundowns with some of my mates, random little camping tips, just stuff like what I do on a weekend, like how I went to the Four-Wheel Driving Expo, camping trips, all that sort of stuff. Hopefully building Ruby, doing maintenance sort of things. So if you want to see any of that with a little bit of Marley Grubby flair, yeah, go hit it up.
Good stuff. Looking forward to all your content, mate. I'm Andrew Andrew from All Access OffRoad. Thank you very much for tuning into OffRoad on Air. You can find anything that I'm doing at All Access Off-Road on Insta, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. They're all the same. Thank you very much, boys.
And I am Thomas Freeman. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. And I am absolutely loving how TikTok and YouTube have come along for me as well too. I'm climbing on the subs on the old YouTube. I'm now doing weekly videos, which I'm smashing through as well too.
Nice.
And just trying to have as much fun as well I can. Stirring the pot on TikTok and making decent stuff on Insta. I mean, on YouTube. That seems to be my style these days.
Just stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot. Well,
Oh,
I'm defending my boys out there. There's a fair few independent creators that are having a hard time, and I'll always defend them. Say for the bigger content creators that probably need to mind their P's and Q's.
Pull
You'll
the
be
heads in.
taking down a few pegs, mate.
I'll just leave it at
That's
that.
it, mate. The content creating is a lot easier now than it was 10 years ago.
Yep. All right, man. Well, thank you very much, guys. Hit us up on all of the off-road on air, all access off-road, Marley Grubby, Thomas Freeman, everything here. We've got socials galore. And obviously this is the Off-Road on Air podcast. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. If you want us anywhere else, just let us know. We'll post it there as well. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Cheers, guys. See ya.
Take it easy, boys.
Peace, peace, peace.